This is Vanilla Ice.
Folks, this is Joe Diffie.
What's up, everybody? It's Dustin Lynch.
You're listening.
And you're listening.
And you're listening
to the Dolly McCarthy Show.
To my friend, the Dolly McCarthy Show.
To the Dolly McCarthy Show. Holla and pop your collar.
Dolly McCarthy Show.
We are Facebooking live to you, the Dolly McCarthy Show. This is season 9. We're kicking off season 9, our third show of the season, with coming up comedian Nick Smeriglio. He's Arlington Heights native, and he'll be joining us shortly. And of course, you know, this show, we always have good guests and good news. And so this show for sure, guaranteed good laughs for sure. So stick around. We're going to go live with Nick Smeriglio in just a few moments. Couple quick announcements, then we're going to get right to our very special guests. I'm so excited. But first, the Salvation Army is kicking off their Red Kettle campaign. And as you know, every holiday season, you can see them everywhere, outside stores and malls and the grocery store. You got those volunteers ringing the bells, trying to raise money for the Salvation Army and all the needy families throughout Chicagoland that this helps, throughout the world, actually. The Salvation Army is a do-gooder organization, been around for over 100 years. And the Red Kettle campaign, I think it's been around, let me double check. I wrote this. I think it's been just about 100 years. 1891. That's right. Over 100 years. 1891, Joseph McPhee, a Salvation Army captain, was bothered by how many people in San Francisco were going hungry. So he decided he wanted to give people a free Christmas meal. So McPhee raised the money by putting a pot out at the Oakland Ferry landing with a sign that said, "Keep the pot boiling." The tradition has been going ever since. Isn't that something? So the Salvation Army has asked me to help with their virtual campaign. Since you're not hearing many bells ringing out there, have you noticed that we're not hearing as many Red Kettle bell ringers out there because a lot of stores are closed, limited hours, you know, keeping that social distancing during this pandemic. So we're not hearing as many bells ringing. But the need is greater now more than ever. I've been told that I have some facts here. I'm going to tell you where they are. I thought I saw, I don't have it now. Oh, well, what do you get for a live show? There's a 500% increase in need. That's what I remember typing up. Can you believe that? I'm laughing at myself that I don't have those facts in front of me. But maybe Delaney can send me shoot me a text, Delaney. Can you check out those facts? They're just mind-blowing, mind-boggling. 500% increase in need this year. Makes sense during this pandemic. So we need your support. We need your donations now more than ever. The Salvation Army certainly does. Can you go to my Facebook page or my Instagram? I'm helping them with the Red Kettle virtual campaign there. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, oh, here it is. 500% increase for the food pantry and emergency bill assistance. So there's a lot of families out of work. They were running these small mom and pop shops that have now been forced to have closed, and they just, you know, how long can you float? So a lot of them have closed. Really just a sad time. And we'll try to brighten their holidays by making an extra donation into the Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army. I'm trying to find the link, but you know, if you just go to my Facebook and Instagram page, it's all right there. So you can make a donation from the comfort of your home. Where's my little bell? We can ring a little bell for you. Let's put some more wings on those angels up there, okay? Keep ringing the bell. Keep making donations to this Chicago organization, nationwide organization that does good all over the place. So, all right. Thank you guys in advance for that. Oh, here it is. give.salvationarmyusa.org. That's one way you can do it. But an even better way, go to my Facebook, The Dolly McCarthy Show, or even my personal page, Dolly McCarthy, and you can find the link there. Thanks to everybody who's already made a donation. I just launched this and I think we're almost up to $500. So way to go, guys. Thanks for contributing to that. Now, one other quick thing before we get to my good guest, comedian Nick Smeriglio. He's going to be joining us. If you haven't heard about him, you guys, you don't want to miss this interview. We got him live here on the Dolly McCarthy Show, kicking off season 9. Okay, for anyone who's feeling burned out by the loss, isolation, I'm reading this right from there because I just got this. They asked me to plug this. I think it's actually pretty cool. If anyone is feeling burned out by the loss, isolation, and illnesses caused by the pandemic, the great burnout of COVID 2020 is offering you an opportunity for you to join the community together. I can read, to eliminate negative memories of the past year and focus on hopes for the future. I love this. So this is the Rotary Club of Naperville, downtown Naperville, in recognition of the great toll COVID-19 has had on everyone's mental health. They're asking you to burn your most harmful, hurtful memories in a giant bonfire on December 27th. The Great Burnout. Remember the Great Smokeout? Or what was it called? The Great Smokeout, where everyone stopped smoking for a day. That was pretty cool. That was many, many years ago. I'm giving my age away here. The Great Burnout of COVID 2020 will be held at precisely 5:44 at a local park in Naperville. Viewers will be able to tune in via Facebook Live broadcast to see their troubles transformed into light and warmth, leading us to better days ahead. I like that idea. Great idea, guys. The Great Burnout of COVID 2020. Check it out, www.covidburnout.org. This is a fundraiser, too, for Loaves and Fishes Community Food Pantry. I love it. So check out covidburnout.org, that website there. Hats off to the Rotary Club of Naperville for setting that up. Good things. All right, I'm glad I could squeeze that in for y'all. All right, let's go. Let's see who's on Facebook Live. Can I refresh this? See who's on here. Want to hear from you guys. Hey. Who's on here? Give me a thumbs up. Oh, you're so welcome. Yep, of course. We want to hear from any of those charities out there. I know I can't run through many of them. We got the Salvation Army. Oh, this morning in my office, so many people have been stopping by. Let me just put this out there too. Oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. I hope we're okay there. Hang with us, everybody. We are doing the luminaries again around town. You know, growing up on the northwest side of Chicago, being Italian, my family, luminaries every Christmas Eve. You had to put them out right when we got home after midnight mass. We'd line up the sidewalk all the way to the stairs, up to the door. My mom and dad, they would say, we're lighting the way for Christ. And I would say, well, we got to light it for Santa too. We want to make sure Santa's coming with all those gifts. So we're giving away free luminaries here at the Park Ridge Living, the Dolly McCarthy Show studios here in Uptown Park Ridge. Stop on by at 132 South Prospect. We're just asking for a simple donation of maybe $10, whatever you want to give. It's all going to go to the Park Ridge Community Fund, which supplies contributes to all the charities here in Park Ridge, and it really does carry throughout the northwest side. So if you're interested in getting some luminaries, they're free. Just come on by, say hello. But if you want to throw a couple bucks in our little white bags, we don't have, it's not a red kettle, but it is the little white bag. So far, we've raised over $700. So thanks to all of you for making those contributions. Okay, without further ado, we got to play our show intro really quick. Yeah. Love Delaney, my intern this year. Maybe I'm not giving her enough to do, but she came up with this cute little video here. I'm going to share it with all of you. Here we go.
This is Vanilla Ice.
Folks, this is Joe Diffie.
What's up, everybody? It's Dustin Lynch.
You're listening
And you're listening to the Dolly McCarthy Show.
to my friend, the Dolly McCarthy Show.
To the Dolly McCarthy Show. Holla and pop your collar.
It's the Dolly McCarthy Show.
All right, without further ado, my friends, I have a really good guest today. We're going to kick off this Thursday afternoon with lots of laughs and fun and good cheer. And I'm really, really excited to have the Second City graduate, an Arlington Heights native, Nick Smeriglio. His funny social media videos on TikTok and Instagram went viral during the COVID lockdown. We were all stuck at home. I know my kids, I have 5, were all doing these TikTok videos. I never got into it because I was so busy with the magazine and busy making food for them. I mean, 3 meals a day. I was just dying to get out, but everything was shut down and we're doing laundry. So the kids, if you have teenage kids or preteens or early 20s, they're all doing these TikTok videos. Well, Nick Smeriglio was back at home at his parents' house with his brother and sister, and they're doing these TikTok videos. So we're going to talk to him now about how he got started, but he started putting out these funny videos and it caught the attention of, can you believe this, 85,000 followers on TikTok, and now on Instagram about 25,000 followers. And it even caught the attention of one of my favorite comedians, Sebastian Maniscalco, because of Nick's impersonations of him as well. But let's dive in right now with, there he is, Nick Smeriglio. Hi, Nick. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So good to have you, my friend. I have been laughing since I found you. Okay, this is pretty sad. I was told about you about a month ago, but everybody else, 85,000 other people on TikTok have been following you for at least 6 months now. But more and more people are discovering you, and you've just been recently discovered too by Sebastian Maniscalco. He did a shout out to you on Jimmy Kimmel, all this. So what's life been like now since you went viral, since you exploded on social media?
It's been weird for sure. I didn't expect any following, any exposure, anything like this at all. But I loved Second City so much that I wanted to, somewhat try and pursue a career in comedy or acting or whatever it was. And my last show was actually a week before lockdown. So eventually I just kind of had to scratch the itch of just what I missed. And it's been a ton of fun, just doing what I love to do and putting it out there. And it's grown. So it's like I said, something I didn't expect, but a ton of fun. And it's definitely been a blessing to have gotten a kickstart while being quarantined into comedy. So I can't wait to try stand up and get on stage. I think that's what I want to do. So just going to keep posting every day for now.
Everybody is just highly anticipating and waiting for that moment when they can see you live. That's for sure. You've been posting, like you said, every day. Where do you get the ideas, the content? I know you talk about your dad a lot. Is your dad, was he the funny one in the family, or are you just, you mention him a lot? Is it because he just provides a lot of good content to you? You can make fun of him? Like, I think
Rocco,
it's all right, the above. Dad?
Yeah, he's Rocco. He's Northwest Side.
That's why I love him. Northwest Siders, yeah.
I think it's all the above. I try to integrate some of the content from my family into my skits and scenes and things like that. And some of it's just honestly super silly things that I think of that would be a funny dynamic. Like originally for the first couple of weeks, it was just Christopher Walken and Tony Soprano living together at college. And I'm like, how goofy would it be to have these two do things that college kids do now? And, the impressions are, I think, what lure people in, but it's been a ton of fun to be able to get good feedback on the actual scenes that I've kind of integrated too. So I'm trying to definitely integrate like stuff that I would do on stage potentially for stand-up into like skits that I'm doing now, because there's nothing wrong with just recording like a 3-minute bit and posting it. I just think it's it's funner for me to have like a 2-person conversation. It's super weird when you see for the first time of yourself being 2 different people. But it's been fun, and like you said, garnered a little bit of a following. So yeah, I'm gonna keep posting.
Just a little following, that's for sure. Well, those videos, you go between. Well, he does a lot of Sebastian, Tony Soprano, and Christopher Walken. By the way, I like your Sebastian impersonations, but those Christopher Walken's ones are hilarious. Has he reached out to you yet?
No, I don't even think he's on social media. There's so many fan pages. But I don't blame the guy. I mean, I think he's in his late 70s. He's obviously a legend in show business, and yeah, he's got a voice like nobody else. So it's definitely.
And you've got it down. You have his voice down better than he has it. But so you go between some of those little videos you do on Instagram and TikTok. You're cutting. There's a lot of editing involved. A lot of people don't realize the tremendous amount of work that you are putting into the content, and the costumes, right? The pink, the rose shaded glasses for Christopher Walken, yeah. But then all the editing that goes on too. So that's something that you probably are trying to figure out how that would work when you're doing stand up, right? Or live show.
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to a couple of comedy clubs that have reached out that are thinking about, booking for spring or even next summer. And I'll be honest with like the managers or of these clubs. I've never done stand up. I want to do this, but I'm just letting you know, like I will say yes to this because I want to do it, but I've never done it. And one in particular, this comedy club in New Jersey, told me just do your skits on stage. So I've started to think about like how I would have a conversation with 2 or even 3 people by myself. So yeah, it's a great point. It's something I'm going to have to, I would love to do it on stage for sure. Cause that's kind of how my channel, started on TikTok at least. But, yeah, the editing thing is something I'm learning new every week. It started off just in TikTok, which I learned was the least efficient way to do it. So I've tried different apps and stuff, and now I pay for one that's just an annual payment or subscription or whatever. And I've always loved editing videos, even before this.
Well, it's really working, really working to your advantage. That's for sure. So your sister was doing the TikTok dancing, like my daughters are doing, and you just one day said, "Hey, what's this?" And how did that work? How was your first video? What was that?
Oh, my first video
How'd that come about?
Walking in soprano room together at college. Like the theme that I wanted to go with, or the series or whatever, was like your favorite actors and characters or comedians like back on a college campus together. I don't know why. I just thought it'd be funny for a bunch of like duos in a dorm wing to be interacting with each other. And it turned out I didn't really have to add anybody because Walking in soprano was getting a good amount of views. But yeah, I think just like a lot of other people, when quarantine first hit, upon discovering TikTok, that this was something for teenage girls that dance. Like that was just kind of the stereotype at the time. And after a couple of weeks or even a month or so, like I started noticing everybody's on that app doing anything that just being themselves. You can totally express yourself and do impressions. You can do comedy. You can do there's a ton of things. So,
and that's the great thing about it is, there's so many funny guys out there, and you are just you, and you just put yourself out there, and you're coming up with this material on a daily basis, which for any person, it's hard to come up with that stuff. But if you're naturally funny, it's still work, right? But it's good content that you're coming up with on a daily basis. Listen, I want to do a quick shout out to everybody on Facebook. Hey, Tim, thanks for the messaging. John, thanks. He says, great interview, Dolly. Thank you. I like to hear some compliments. Great work. Good job. But do you have any questions for Nick Smeriglio? He's a local guy, one of us from the Northwest Side. Born and raised, right, Nick, in Arlington Heights?
Correct. Yeah.
St. Viator alum. Gonna do a shout out to our Catholic school, high schools.
Absolutely.
He just completed the improv program at Second City Theater back in March. Let's go back to high school, Nick. Were you the funny guy at in high school?
Not really. No, not really. I I play football. I'm not a freak athlete by any means, but I was the backup defensive end and the long snapper, and I had my best friends from playing football in high school, and I absolutely loved the experience, but I was by no means a stud athlete. It wasn't until senior year of high school, actually, that a bunch of us football guys decided to go out for the musical. It was The Sound of Music. I was, most of us were casted on ensembles in The Sound of Music. And that was the first time I really performed on stage, obviously with a lot more people, but I kind of was like, I kind of like this. Like this could be fun. So fast forward through college, I saw some shows at Second City and started doing improv at another theater, and then went to Second City. But I was kind of a meathead, honestly. Just just football guy, and I was involved in some other stuff too. But I didn't really consider myself like a theater performer by any means.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's like I said, it's been a lot to take in since March.
Yeah. Were you your most of your life, I know a lot of really great comedians have, when people talk about them or memories of them, or when they look back at their life, they weren't like the class clowns. They weren't the funny ones, but they were a lot of times just, they have all these thoughts and this comedy in their head, and they were great observers growing up. Were you one of those observers? Were you the quiet one in the family? You the oldest of three, or?
Yeah, oldest of three. I have a sister a year younger, and my brother is 6 years younger.
Who's the funniest in the family?
Yeah. Oh, probably my brother and my sister.
We got cut off. You said your father?
Yeah, probably my dad or my brother. They're both Rockies. I don't know. I think, like you said earlier about my dad, like a lot of it comes from him and his buddies that he grew up with on the Northwest Side. There's just something about that, like witty, sarcastic banter that when I'm around them, I've never laughed harder in my life. My dad and his buddies from growing up. And that's how I've just always known, like, my dad and who he hangs out with. And I think that's kind of where I learned to or become accustomed to just observing and just acknowledging like how silly a lot of things are. I know it sounds super simple, but I definitely wasn't the class clown. I wouldn't say I was quiet, but I by no means, I was not the guy putting stand-up comedian in my 8th grade yearbook. If that's what you're asking. There was no way that was going to happen.
Do people like your old friends run into you and go, wait, you're funny? I'm teasing. No, but
no, yeah, honestly, yeah. No, I was not the funniest guy by any means. So I think it, to your point, like observing over the years and realizing, what other comics do that have made it, like Sebastian Maniscalco or Pat McGann, another Chicago guy. They're just telling stories. And it doesn't have to be like these well thought out jokes that have awesome punchlines. You can just tell stories and give your perspective. And I think I have the ability to do that in terms of telling a story. So I don't.
You think? You're really good at that. You're really, really good at that. We're talking to comedian, Arlington Heights native, Nick Smeriglio, who's probably best known right now for taking TikTok by storm. He's got, I have been corrected, my intern tells me 90,000 new followers since you started talking to me on the air. No, I'm kidding. Nick Smeriglio, 90,000 followers on TikTok, 25 on Instagram. I'm a new Instagram follower. I'm kind of late to the party, I guess, but I just can't get enough of your comedy, Nick. My favorite, you do a lot of impersonations, and can I ask you to do some for us? But my favorite is Christopher Walken's. It's just, you just make me laugh so hard. Before I go to bed every night, I have to watch a comedy. So I've been watching Sebastian Maniscalco, but now my new favorite is Nick Smeriglio, and I'm just, it's great because he's from the Northwest Side. You want to support our own, but truly funny man. You've got Nick. Can you do some Christopher Walken's for us, please?
Dolly, it's good to be on your show. I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing I thought of when I saw your name was the song by Count Basie and Frank Sinatra called "Hello, Dolly." It's. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah, I've
Hello,
heard that.
Dolly, Count Basie. It's so good, honestly.
Come on, give us a few lines of it. Come on, sing for us, will
Oh,
you?
hello,
Christopher?
Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You
I
gotta
had
look
no
it up.
idea, Christopher, you could sing so well.
Hello, Dolly. It would take a lot. I think the song's like 2.5 minutes. If I did it in Walken's voice, it might take 5 or 7 because it's so slow and drawn out. But
All right, Sebastian Maniscalco.
yeah, so when anybody from the Northwest Side reaches out about an interview, I'm happy to do it and grateful to be on your show. You know, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
Tony Soprano. I know these are some of your favorites. Our favorite.
Absolutely. It's Thursday, December 17th. 1 week until Christmas. I crept up pretty quick, if you ask me. Get your gifts in now. Deliveries are pretty delayed. I ordered 2 weeks ago. I haven't gotten anything yet.
How do you do that? Oh my goodness. What's your favorite impersonation? Is there others? I threw out 3 that I've seen a lot of on your TikTok and Instagram. Are there any others? What are your favorites?
Yeah, there's definitely some other. I mean, Sebastian's obviously kind of what, the impression I've become known for, at least with the TikTok community and like the TikTok impressionists. So I love doing that one. I love doing like characters. Well, they're actors, real people, but from movies that not everybody would think of doing an impersonation for. So like no one doesn't like the movie Remember the Titans. You've seen Remember the Titans, yeah. I assume. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite movies. Will Patton, the actor who plays Coach Yost, has just a super distinct voice. And I started posting him a couple months ago, and people loved that one too. So it's kind of fun to do something that no one really expects or no one else really does. But it's a movie everyone likes and a character everyone likes. So, yeah, Coach Yost, who plays.
You gonna do some Coach
Yeah,
Yost?
absolutely. What's a good line to use?
I'm really putting you on the spot.
No, it's all
and
good.
You know what? I think right now you probably have so much content in your head. You're probably just pulling it from the file, right? This is just amazing how you could just pull this stuff out.
I'm always thinking about it. It's always on my mind, that's for sure. But I think one of the more notable lines is when he kneels down next to Gary Bertier's hospital bed after he gets paralyzed in that car accident. And he goes, "Gary, I think this is a good time for prayer and reflection." And then Gary goes, "Coach, I'm hurt. I ain't dead." But yeah, that's one of the lines that.
The other day, I saw you do a Matthew McConaughey. Oh my God!
That one needs some work.
Down.
That one needs a little bit of work for sure.
No, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You're your own worst critic.
I loved his. He does an impression challenge. He just posted it this week. His new book called Green Lights, I think. Yeah, Green Lights. And he invited everybody and anybody to do an impression of him reading something from his book. And it took a lot of work for sure to kind of get. It wasn't good a week ago, that's for sure. So I like to work on new stuff and try new impressions. So that was a great excuse to do that one. But.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, we're talking to Arlington Heights native comedian impressionist. Would we call you an impressionist or an impersonator?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Listen, leave it to 2 Northwest Siders trying to figure out the
if I had to guess the difference, it's like an impression is just the voice and the impersonation is like becoming the person, like everything.
But you do a little bit of both. Like that one video you did with Sebastian walking into a nightclub. First of all, where did you get that collar? Is that from your dad's closet or something?
It's not. It's actually there's a website, page, channel, whatever you want to call it, called Hardcore Italians.
Yes, I'm a member.
yeah, they're awesome. Mike's awesome, the guy who runs it. I'm an affiliate with them, so I promote some of their merchandise and their shirts, and their shirts are hilarious. I love them. So that's one of them where you pop the collar and it's got the entire flag.
Yeah, well, you had
underneath.
Sebastian's whole look down, so that would be an impersonator.
Yeah,
Right.
I think when he was on Kimmel, he said that too. But I think it's a fun new way instead of just. There's nothing wrong with just telling a story in Sebastian's voice because
Right.
I think people like that. But like getting, it's just another way to do an impression or impersonation, and you don't have to always be talking. So it's fun for me to try new stuff, and I don't know if stuff's going to do well. I'm not 1,000% confident this is funny. I just try to think of something new and I post it and I let the comments give me the feedback, and now I know if it's good or not, or try new stuff.
Especially with you just starting out. And by the way, I just want to say, if anybody has any questions for Nick, we have a few more. Rick, you stick around a little bit longer. If you have any questions, we want to take your questions. Any comments? We have a comment here from John saying, great job, Nick. Loved all 3 impersonations. So we're getting some folks commenting on it. If you have a question, send it our way.
Thanks,
for Nick. He's here for a little bit longer here. Those are really, really dead on, those impersonations, that's for sure. Okay, so now my question to you is, what are you doing now to pay the rent, so to speak, since with COVID, you're building up this material, you're kind of waiting for I think that it's, as soon as the doors open up, Nick, we're going to see you all over the place. So it's such a treat to have you early on, that's for sure. But when the doors open up out there and we're back, the comedy clubs are open and we have opportunities to be out there and see you, what are you prepared for? But in the meantime, what are you doing now to pay the rent?
Yeah. So I've been working for Viacom CBS since last March of 19. Ad sales support kind of job. I love it. My first job in advertising, but it's a great place to work. I absolutely love it. I basically work for a salesperson that sells airtime on TV, and of course, now the digital stuff, whether it's like comedycentral.com or mtv.com and stuff like that. So it's very it's a perfect place to work for what I want to do, because they're very supportive. Obviously they're not the advertising team isn't on the same team as content, the studios and things like that, but they're very supportive. So it's been very grateful for their support the past 8 or 9 months.
Oh, that's
and
great. Yeah. That's really nice.
They know what I want to do, and they acknowledge that my passion isn't to sell advertising. So they're well aware that I might not be with Viacom CBS for another 30 years. So
well, the holiday bonus employee of the month might help right now. Okay. Just saying.
Yeah, right. I'm holding out for that. After that, I can quit. No, that's not.
Are people recognizing you on the street, at the Jewel, at the grocery store? Where do you hang out? Oh, I probably shouldn't ask you that, because I know we're going.
No, that's all right. It's happened. It's crazy.
What's that been like?
A couple of times. It's happened a couple of times. It was weird. I remember the first time was over the summer. I was walking into a bar with 4 or 5 friends, and we're standing in front of the bouncer, and there's a dude at the bar with a group of people, and they're kind of sitting facing towards the door, and this dude, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. He just kept saying TikTok, and I'm like, my buddy told me after, I was just beat red. I didn't know what to say. I was just kind of like, it was so weird. But it's happened a couple of times after that, and there's no doubt it's awesome to get acknowledged for what I just love to do, that I didn't think I would ever be able to make a career from. I hope I can. Obviously, nothing's been in person yet, but it's a whole different dynamic. You got to kind of think twice about something you might say or do, and you never know who's watching. And
ready or not, here it comes. Nick Smeriglio, that's for sure. Arlingtonite native and Second City graduate. Is that what we say? I
I didn't do the main stage or anything like that. I'm no Steve Carell, Chris Farley, but
Well-
I just did 1 year of the improv program and I loved it. And
Well, and
So,
COVID kind of cut that short for you. So have you heard from Second City? Do they want you to come on the stage after things open back up?
I haven't. I also haven't reached out much. I know I was back and forth with someone about just the classes in general, just a Q&A, and everything's online. So as much as I miss it, I just don't know if I could have the same experience or even be able to kind of grow and learn more knowing what I was able to experience in person. I just don't know if I didn't think it was the right time to do the online stuff. I'm going to wait for it to open back up because there's nothing like, the in-person improv stuff. So
Okay, I'm getting
can't
it
wait for
here.
that.
Someone wants you to do an impression of your dad.
Oh my
Rocco.
God. You know what? If I did an impression of my dad, it would probably lean towards Sebastian because he's got the Chicago accent that Sebastian has. He doesn't have the dramatic, oh my God, it's an impression of my dad. I don't know. The ones that asked me to do that.
Remember when before we went live, we were talking of just Chicago. Your dad is from Shabona Park. Remember
Yeah.
Shabona Park? What's the other park you mentioned?
Hiawatha.
Hiawatha,
Yeah.
my old stomping grounds and, people, those areas, Chicago, pork chop, the bear,
I think the first thing, I'm trying to think of something that I drive my grandmother's Cadillac. She can't drive it anymore. But every time
we saw that on Instagram.
It's got 196,000 miles on it. And my family loves that I have it. We're keeping it in the family. We could have got rid of it after she stopped driving. Anyways, every time I go home with it, my dad's always doing the walk around. Here, you need washer fluid, Nick. What are you doing? There's no washer fluid in your car. I'm honestly, it's going to go towards Sebastian. Now you're all set. You got washer fluid in there, and you're good to go. Just do me a favor when you leave, and you turn on the wipers. The clip might be loose. Like that, I know if the wipers are loose, little stuff. He's just very particular about the car, and as he should. So it's
that. I think that is the appeal too with Sebastian, your dad, even you. You sound like people that we all kind of grew up with on the Northwest side, and probably other parts of the country too. But
yeah, that's why I think it's hard to do an impression because it's my entire family. On my dad's side, all the Northwest Siders sound like Sebastian. Obviously not the dramatic, drawn out thing that he does when he's on stage, but it's the same accent, without a doubt, the same accent. So if I were to do an impression of my dad, it would probably more just be a skit of something silly that I've encountered with him that I would kind of poke fun at, but I think a lot of people can relate to, like you said. So
yeah. Hey, did you ever meet Sebastian yet? Have you ever met him yet?
I haven't met him, no.
You guys should get together in Arlington Heights.
Don't
let anybody know. Just walk in, do the little walk in that you do.
Right. A little step back, a shoulder drop or something. Yeah, I don't know.
You had him down so much. Does it just come to you, or do you really study? Watch every move, or does it just come to you naturally? Or are you studying these people?
I would say someone like McConaughey, I had to study because I never really done him before. So you have to you do have to study it for a couple days, a couple hours a day. If I had to do what I did for him because that he's doing that impression challenge. But honestly, I started doing the impressions. I had picked the impressions of the people I wanted to do on TikTok because I had just been fans forever of them. So I kind of always in the back of my head knew there were kind of nuances and, and how they say certain lines. Sebastian's one of my favorite comedians, so I've been watching him for 7 years now. And I think it's just over time something I just picked up on. And my dad and I will and even my buddies now will just see something and Sebastian would definitely make fun of XYZ and we would just do it why the hell is she walking across the street in a zigzag? Something like that. We'll just think of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just over time, I think with Sebastian just picked up on it. So
Well, the holidays are next week. Can you believe it already? And being Italian descent, I'd love to hear how your family is going to be celebrating the holidays. My family's really big. Real quick, 14 of us. So we're doing the Zoom call.
Okay.
How about you? How are you guys spending the holidays? How do things look the same or different this year?
Definitely a lot different. It'll probably just be the 5 of us and my sister's fiance on Christmas Day. It's going to be tough because Christmas Eve in Chicago has always been my grandma's house on the Northwest Side. 60 people, bacala and wine and just a lot of laughs and everybody crammed into one house. So I'll definitely miss it. She's in Park Ridge now, but just the oldest memory I have is that little house in Shibona Park of everybody going there. And it'll be very different, but everyone's in the same boat and we're going to make the most of it and be fun for sure.
And with the new year just around the corner and big things are going to be happening, I can just see it now once things open back up for you, Nick.
Well, knock on wood.
We are rooting for you. You're Northwest Sider fans. We're all rooting for you. Everybody is. You are hilarious and funny. You already know that, but you're bringing much needed joy and laughter during a pandemic. That's for sure. So we really, really are proud of you and rooting for you. And can't thank you enough for all the laughs during this crazy COVID year. That's for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on as well.
Oh, thanks so much for stopping by for as long as we've had here. We got any more messages? Oh, we got another message here. Bob says, great interview. Well, everybody's just enjoying it. I don't know if we got any questions, but maybe they'll come up later. We are going to let Nick go. But guess what, guys? Tomorrow night, I'm filling in for Dave Plyer on WGN Radio, 720 a.m. And my first guest just had to be Nick Smeriglio. So, Nick, thanks for agreeing to come on and stay up late with us. I know, well, it's a Friday night. You're already up. You would have been at a nightclub or something. How old are you? What are you, like 25?
I'll be 27 in February. Yeah, 26. So. All
right. Yeah. So you're already up, but I'll be on the air till 1 in the morning. But Nick is my first guest. I wanted to grab him, give him enough, not grab him physically. Gee, that sounds funny. Grab him before he got too busy on a Friday night with other things going on. So WGN tomorrow night, 10 o'clock until 1 in the morning. Nick is with us in the first half of the show. And so we'll be talking to him a little bit more on 7:20 a.m. I'm so glad you'll be there, Nick. Thanks so much for coming on the good show.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Really appreciate that. And I got tape now of you saying anytime a Northwest Sider calls you and wants to be on the show. I'd love to work with you. We've got some charity events coming in the new year, comedy nights. So get that together. We would love to
keep in touch. Just down the street from Park Ridge. So Northwest Side still. So
I'm getting some messages from my Northwest Sider friends too, saying I know him from St. Viator, and my kid went to school with him. So
it's a small world, especially Chicagoans. You never know. So
wonderful, wonderful. Well, say hi to Rocky for me.
Will do.
Senior, love the content, and Merry Christmas to you, Nick. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for coming on the good show.
To you as well. Thanks, Dolly.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to The Good Show. I'll be back next week with another edition, and I don't know the guests. I wish I could plug it right now. I don't know. We haven't thought that far in advance. We've just been so excited to have Nick Smeriglio on the show. So check him out on Facebook and on Instagram and TikTok. 85,000 viewers on there. Tell your family and friends. Play some of the videos during the holidays. Get everybody laughing. You want to start those holiday parties off right. That's for sure. All right. Thanks, everybody. Be good. Be good to each other. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.